right, and restart. Nope, do not restart. That's the third time I've done this. I haven't quite got that far yet. No, what we need to do now is we need to actually enable the OCI extension in PHP. So if you open a text editor, I've got Notepad++ in here because it's better than Notepad in most respects. So you need to go where XAMPP is. So we've installed our XAMPP to, or extracted our XAMPP to the C drive. So we go to XAMPP PHP, and we go to, we look for a PHP configuration file. Now if you've got your known file extensions turned on, you won't actually see the .ini. You can see these ones that say .ini -production, but they don't actually have a file extension, or Windows is showing them as ini production files. The one you want is called a configuration setting, or you just want this one. It might say PHP ini only, and that depends on your system configuration. So now we're here in the PHP ini file. Everything to do with PHP is configured here. There's a bit of a foreword telling you about it, how to use it, but basically when you get new modules in PHP, for example like GD that deals with graphics and drawing and that sort of thing, you need to actually enable it in the PHP configuration to use it. Now if you're using if you're renting a server or if you're renting a server or renting web space, you might not actually have the ability to do this. So but since it's a local development server, you definitely will. So we're going to look for something called extension, SION equals, and that will take us actually to the part where extensions are enabled and disabled. Here we go. Dynamic extensions. It's Control F for find if you didn't happen to know that. As you go down, you can see here just under MySQLi is OCI 8, and that's the extension that communicates with the instant client that we put on, which then gets stuff from Oracle for us. So with that uncommented, as you can see, these semicolons are actually the comments in this PHP ini. To uncomment, you just delete that, and it will, depending on what text editor you use, it might change colours to show that it's like valid or uncommented now. If you use Notepad, it won't know. So if you save that file, come out of your text editor, and at this point you need to restart Apache. And sometimes I notice that you have to have a bit of patience with restarting Apache in XAMPP, because sometimes it seems to play silly buggers, but a bit of patience goes a long way here. So you just click stop, wait for it to say it's stopped. I always give it a few seconds afterwards and click start again. Now the running banner might not come up immediately, and it's something you have to be patient with. In the past, sometimes it doesn't come up at all for me, and I have to keep pressing start stop a couple of times, so we'll see what it does this time. Is it running? Well, while we're waiting on that, a good way to test to see if it is actually running is actually test it out here. So if you just come to your XAMPP page in your browser and press refresh, if it comes back up exactly the same, it's not actually on yet. It'll be on, but in this case it's obviously not on. Let's go back to XAMPP and see what it's playing at. Let's press start again. There we go. So this is running now. Let's have a look. Yeah, there we go. That's running. Check that you haven't messed up the PHP config by putting in any wrong characters. If you do, if you come back to PHP info here, it might not actually show the PHP info, or you might actually not be able to start Apache full stop. You can check the log files out in if you cannot start Apache for the life, you can check the log files out in XAMPP. If it should be XAMPP log. Somewhere in there's log files. If you just Google XAMPP logs, I'm sure you can find something to help you fix your problem. But now that's done, we just need to check now that PHP can now interface with or interact with Oracle. So what we're going to do here is SQL Plus was installed with Oracle Express Edition. So we're going to run SQL Plus, add a few tables, add a couple of values, and yeah, see if we can open them in PHP. So enter username, test PHP is what we had before. Enter password. Oh, invalid username password. I suck, it seems. Test PHP password. There we go, connected. So create table, names, open parentheses, tab, name, varchar 2, let's have 200, so we can have be up to 200 characters long, and let's have rating. Let's say I've tried like a name rating website, why not? But we're only going to have whole numbers since this is not a big thing, not a real thing. Oh, no. I've actually scrubbed all the letters off my keyboard, so I do apologise for my atrocious typing. Right, table created. Insert into names, name and rating. Values. Let's pick. Let's put my name. Why not? Paul. And I'm not going to downrate my name. Even though it's common as muck, so it's going to have to be 5. 1 row created. And let's just put another one in there for the fun of it. I'm just going to cheat and go up. For some reason, SQL Plus doesn't like Linux, and whenever I try and press up in Linux, I get the weird up character, and it's rather annoying. My girlfriend's name, why not? I'll put it down to 2 because I'm evil. Right. So now that's down, I think we have to press commit to actually put it into Oracle. That's something you don't have to do with MySQL, and that has caught me out quite a few times. So if we now go to our test file, which I haven't actually put in the web directory. So when you run Apache, it serves files from a certain directory, and it's configurable in most cases, but for XAMPP it's defaultly one folder called htdocs in XAMPP htdocs, and here you see all the stuff that makes the XAMPP splash page the way it is here. So you can delete all that if you want. There's no real need to really, and it could cause problems, but don't take my word for that one. What I'm going to do here is make a folder called testing O for Oracle and paste my index.php file there. So if I come up to the browser, I'll stop you, and instead of localhost /XAMPP, I'm going to put testing O, and hopefully it should load up my PHP file, which in turn, there we go. It's got those figures directly from the database. If you don't believe me, oops, don't want to move that out of the way. What am I doing? Wrong window. If we just edit this, come on, notepad. As you can see here, this is the index PHP I just copied into the web server now as it is, and all I'm doing is selecting all from names and printing them out. This code actually, as I said before, came from php.net, so it's not my code. Sue me. But yeah, you should now have a working Oracle installation with PHP, Apache, and MySQL if you ever need it on your machine. Thank you for watching this tutorial. I hope it's been helpful. If you have any problems, let me know in the comments. Thanks.